Are you a rapper that's able to stay on beat very well, but you still struggle to rap over parts of the instrumental where there's no drums? Well, if so, then stay tuned, because today I'm going to be showing you 3 ways that you can overcome this issue so that you never feel like you can only rap over certain parts of the instrumental. So, without further ado, let's get it! What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Cole Mize with ColeMizeStudios.com, where it's my main goal to help you be a better rapper now. So let's go ahead and get into this issue that a lot of rappers face. First of all, if you're someone who struggles to rap over parts of an instrumental that doesn't have drums, I just want to let you know that you're not alone. I've been coaching rappers behind the scenes one-on-one for quite a few years now, and this is a very common issue that a lot of rappers face that I've helped them overcome. And the main reason that this is happening is it all boils down to not being confident in your body movement. Now, real quick, before I go any further, if you're a rapper that's struggling to just stay on beat, period, then this may not be the video for you to start off with. This is going to be sharing some more advanced techniques, and you're going to need to have some ear training beforehand. So if that's your case, make sure you watch this video first. It's my video called Establishing Rhythm Part 3. And that's going to help you get the fundamentals and stuff that you need before following along with this video. So be sure to check that out if that's you. But if you notice that your rhythm seems to fall apart during parts of the instrumental where there's no drums, that's a clear indication that, one, you're lacking a little confidence when it comes to your body movement and relying on your body movement. And two, it could also mean that you're probably relying a little bit too much on the drums, such as the snare, and using them as almost like training wheels. So the main thing I want you to get out of this video is to get to a point where you don't have to rely on the drums to maintain your rhythm. Because as we both know, every instrumental you rap over is going to be different. There's going to be parts that you're going to have to rap over that doesn't have any drums. You know, sometimes in the instrumental, the drums may drop off as it transitions to another section of the song, such as the hook. Or if the hook is meant to be very mellow and it's supposed to be a low point of the song, which happens sometimes, there may not be no drums at all. It may be more melodic driven and stuff like that. So I never want you to be held back or feel like you're handicapped to where you can only rap or do musical things over only certain parts of the instrumental. You need to be 100% free to do whatever you want, whenever you want, over an instrumental. Okay, one thing to keep in mind is that a bar is a musical measurement, just like a mile or a kilometer is a measurement in the real world. And just like a mile or a kilometer, a bar's length never changes. It's always the same length, which is 4 beats. But the amount of time that it takes you to travel a mile in the real world does change. That's totally determined by your speed, right? Your miles per hour. And the same is true of music. A bar is always the same length, and your speed in music, your miles per hour in music, is known as tempo, or BPM, which stands for beats per minute. So for an example, you're going to travel a lot faster across a bar if you're going 95 beats per minute versus if you're going across a bar at 65 beats per minute. So while the speed will factor in how long it takes you to go across a bar, what never changes is the length of the bar. The bar is always 4 beats, and each beat is an equal amount of space from each other, because the 4 beats are dividing one bar into 4 even sections. So now that we have that understood, what we need to work on is developing more confidence in your own body movement. That way we're not relying on drums as much, like they're training wheels. You need to rely on your own body movement. That way you're going to be confident regardless of what's happening in the music. And as we strive to build confidence in your body movement, the first tip is practice counting a cappella. And the way that we do this is we practice counting the beats within each bar for 4 bars without any music. And it's going to test your ability to measure even distances between each beat for an extended period of time without any outside help. And I like to do this by nodding my head to the beat while clapping on each beat and also saying the number of each beat for 4 bars. Now, the speed, your BPM that you want to do this practice to, is totally up to you. And if you're struggling to kind of decide on a speed, you could just think of a song that you like and try to tap into the beats of that song, and then use that speed for this particular practice exercise. Okay, let me give you an example of this now. Check it out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 4, 2, 3, 4. Now, if you notice, I changed the number at the beginning of every bar, and that's just my way of counting each bar as I count up 4 bars at one time. And if you struggle to do that, good. That means that we've identified a hole in your game or a weakness in your game, your ear training, your rhythm. And so you should focus on strengthening that, because that's going to be an ongoing issue that you're going to encounter moving forward if you don't. So the other tips that I'm about to give in this video, you can listen to them, but make sure you come back to that one and practice that one first before moving forward to these next tips I'm about to give you, because they're going to be just a little bit more advanced. Okay, tip number 2 is something I like to call changing gears. Okay, it's kind of like, I think of it like being on a bicycle and changing gears on a bicycle. Once you feel like you become like a Jedi master with that last tip, with practicing and counting a cappella, once you're able to do that with no issue and you feel comfortable, you're able to measure each beat evenly and it sounds nice and even, sounds good. Now let's practice doing what I call changing gears. This time, do the same thing we did last time, but after 4 bars, change the tempo up. So let's say you started like at mid-tempo. After 4 bars, go faster or go slower, and see if you're able to adjust to that new speed, that new tempo, and still maintain an even distance from each beat. Again, the bar length never changes. What changes is the speed. So what you're doing is testing your ability to still keep an even distance between each beat at faster or slower speeds. So again, let's try to do this for 8 bars. You can go even longer, but for the purpose of this video, let's go 8 bars. I'm gonna go 1 speed for 4 bars, and I'm gonna go to another speed for the next 4 bars. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 4, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4, 3, 2, 3, 4, 4, 2, 3, 4. There you go. See how that last one I did, it sounded so much shorter because I'm going so much faster. But remember, the same length between each beat, if you're going faster or slower. That's the key to doing this correctly. Everything has to be the same length from one beat to the next. What changes is your speed based on the tempo that the instrumental is at. So in this case, going a cappella, you can go any speed your heart desires. And also, another little pro tip for you, if this is something you're struggling with, start by going at a slower tempo first before you start trying faster tempos like I just demonstrated there. Okay, tip number 3 is something I like to refer to as juggling. So once you feel like you've mastered counting a cappella and changing gears, now let's see if you can take it to the next level and do what I call juggling. Now, in order to juggle, we're going to be doing similar to what we've already previously been doing in the past exercises I just showed you. But this time, we're no longer going to be actually saying the beat out loud. And we're also not going to be keeping track of which bar that we're on. We're only going to keep track of the beats, okay? Now, that may sound easier, but here's the catch. I want you to do this while you're just speaking, okay? So I want you to establish a tempo and just lock your head onto the beats and start moving your body to the beat. So your body is going to be doing the counting. You're no longer doing the counting with your mouth, and you're no longer thinking so deeply about this to where you're counting the bars at the same time, okay? And you're keeping track of the beats while you're just talking about something. It could be something that you're going to be doing in the near future or whatever. Or you could do this while you're, listening to a podcast or a TV show or something like that. But I prefer you do it while you're speaking, because this will closely emulate what it's like to do this while you're rapping. The entire time you're rapping, you also have to keep track of which beats that you're on. And we're doing this almost subconsciously, but you'll notice anybody who's playing music, whether it's live music or a rapper, you'll notice some type of body movement, whether it's a slight head nod, or you may see someone tapping their foot if they're on stage playing something while they're sitting down or whatever. But these are all methods that we're using to stay on beat throughout the entire process. And so the reason I call this juggling is because you're essentially teaching yourself how to do 2 different things at the same time, which is exactly what you're doing while you're rapping. And don't let how silly this exercise may sound fool you. This is a super powerful technique that I've helped rappers overcome this issue of maintaining rhythm without leaning on the drums as heavy. This is a common problem a lot of rappers have, and it boils down to a lot of times is their ability to juggle. It's hard. It's almost like it seems like there's two sides of the brain that are trying to go in opposite directions of each other. And so again, if you struggle to do this, at first, start first by just trying it at a slower tempo, and then work your way up to faster tempos as you feel a little bit more confident. Now, a lot of times I like to have my students clap while they're talking and moving their head movement. That way you have something audible to hear, and it makes it a little bit more noticeable if you get off beat while you're talking. So I'm going to demonstrate that for you now. Again, I'm just going to talk about something random while I'm trying to maintain the beats, again, which is just even measurements from one beat to the next. That's the main thing we're going after here. And we're not overthinking things, okay? We're feeling this out. After a while, after you do this, you can feel what is the correct length between one beat to another for whatever tempo that you're using. It's not a head thing. Okay, that's why I said don't count the bars. Don't worry about which bar you're on, if you're on the second or third bar. And don't worry about saying it out loud now, because of course we're going to be saying something completely different. We're going to be speaking. And this is really relying on your body movement to be in that background, to almost be subconscious, right? It's almost like keeping track of the beat subconscious at this point, to where it's almost becoming something that you're not even really thinking about. It's more just something that you're feeling while you're talking. So here we go. Let's try it out. All right, so what's going on, everybody? I just want to thank y'all for watching my videos. I hope this video has been helpful to you today. Hope you're enjoying it. Hope you're learning something really good. And again, I'm not trying to be in my head too much while I'm doing this. It's more about feeling, right? It's just more about feeling. I'm not overthinking it. But so, hope y'all enjoyed this video today. And I hope this helps someone out there overcome this issue that a lot of rappers have when it comes to rapping over parts of an instrumental where there are no drums. Okay? There you go. And again, don't be discouraged if you struggle to do this exercise at first. You know, again, it's almost like your left and your brain is trying to pull apart from each other in opposite directions, you know, and it can seem almost like aggravating and almost impossible at first. But keep it up, because what this is going to do is build what I like to just call muscle memory, okay? And eventually it's going to become so natural, just how it is for you for like tying your shoe, for an example, or riding a bicycle, or driving a car. These are all things that you used to have to think about, and you thought about them step by step, how you perform each of those different tasks. After a while, it becomes second nature to you, and it's not something you think about. That's exactly how this is going to become for you. And this is so true. Like over here, I have my keyboard, right? Now, I'm no Ray Charles on the keyboard. I can play it well enough to do some damage, but if I were to like right now, like learn how to play something and then try to sing the lyrics at the same time on top of that, I'm going to struggle with that. Even though I can count my beats while I'm talking to you, I haven't developed the muscle memory as far as playing piano and singing at the same time. So it would feel the same exact way this is going to feel for some of you guys and gals out there if I were to try to do something similar on the piano. It just takes practice in order for those two different things that I'm juggling to synchronize and connect with one another. So let's do a quick recap. If you're struggling to stay on beat during parts of an instrumental without any drums, focus on developing and improving the confidence in your body movement and your ability to measure even distances between each beat without any music at all. So in order to build that up, first start by counting a cappella. Practice counting beats without any music at all. And while you're doing this, also nod your head and also clap on each beat while also saying the number of each beat. And while you're practicing, I recommend that you do this at least for 4 bars at a time, if not longer, if you can. Tip number 2, changing gears. Keep doing what you're doing, but now try to change the speed every 4 bars. Either go faster or go slower after every 4 bars, and see if you can still maintain that same distance from one beat to the other for at least another 4 bars. Tip number 3 is juggling. This is emulating more closely what we're doing while we're rapping. Now stop trying to keep count of how many bars that you're doing. Stop saying the actual number of the beat that you're on, and now rely on your body movement and also clapping while you just start talking and talk about something at random. It could be about your day or whatever, and see if you're able to maintain your rhythm, maintain the even distancing between each beat while you're talking. This is developing the ability to maintain your rhythm almost subconsciously. So it's not a head thing. It's not like you're in your head while you're doing it. It becomes more of a feeling. And that's what we're going for. That's what's going to help you maintain your rhythm almost automatically or seamless or just instinctively when you're doing music. That's what we're after. We want you to be totally free while you're rapping over any instrumental, regardless of what's going on in the instrumental. And if you're able to successfully do all these rap drills I just showed you, you're gonna have so much more confidence moving forward, regardless of what instrumental you're rapping over. So let me know in the comment section below if you're a rapper that struggled with a similar issue as I've described today, as far as rapping over parts of the instrumental that doesn't have any drums. And if so, did you struggle to do any of the practice drills that I showed you today? And do you think any of these tips will be helpful to you? If so, let me know which ones. And if you're new to my channel, I'm still not done hooking you up. Make sure before you leave, you get yourself a copy of my ebook, my gift to you, totally free. It's called The #1 Fundamental to Rapping. And this is something I wrote to help give rappers up and coming an edge, whether you're just starting off or you already got a couple of years under your belt, but you're still trying to get your bearings and still trying to grow and improve. This is a really easy to read ebook that I wrote that you can consume within 20 or 30 minutes. And it's going to help give you a lot of tips and help you wrap your mind around how this whole rapping thing works. And it's going to share with you what I believe to be the #1 fundamental to rapping and keeping your listeners hooked from the very beginning of your songs all the way to the very end of your songs. And you can get your copy by clicking the link at the top of the video's description below. Again, my name is Cole Mize with ColeMizeStudios.com. I hope this video was helpful to you. And always remember, when it comes to rapping, there's no rules. There's only techniques. Peace. Hey man, you see that subscribe button right there? Kill it, kill it, kill it, kill it, kill it, kill it, kill it. Oh, and don't forget the bell icon. Kill it, kill it, kill it, kill it, kill it, kill it, kill it. Hey, I know you see that like button, right? Kill it, kill it, kill it, kill it, kill it, kill it, kill it. And look at yourself in the mirror and tell yourself, today I'm gonna kill it, kill it.